Hey there guys, so I got access to the playtest for Marvel Rivals, which is essentially just an Overwatch clone. That actually had me excited considering the fact that, at least for me personally, Overwatch 2 was a major disappointment. The one great thing about Overwatch 2 is the fact that it does run really well on low-end hardware. So I wanted to see if this game could actually run well on an extremely low-end system like this, which is the Trigkey Speed S5 running the Ryzen 5 5500U, a chip that we have looked at a lot on this channel. So if you've watched any of my videos related to it, you can kind of get a baseline of what the performance level is like. So let's see if this can keep up in this brand new title. One thing I do want to point out is that this chip here, the 5500U, did actually go quite a while without getting a driver update, but we did get one to come out this month. 24.7.1 got released, and it actually does support Vega and Polaris, but keep in mind, you are more than likely not going to see any actual optimization being done for Vega. This more than likely is just bringing bug fixes, but I really don't think that any kind of optimization is being done for Vega at this point. And that's specifically why we go quite a while without seeing any actual driver releases. Jumping into the actual game though, I set the game to the lowest in-game graphics settings, and we are using FSR with the performance preset, and unfortunately this is not a great result at all. Our 1% lows are kind of a disaster here. It was extremely difficult to actually aim at anything at this low of an FPS with this inconsistent of a frame rate. You look at those frame times, there are major fluctuations all over the place, and what that effectively means is that this is going to be a very bad time. And okay, a bad gaming experience is one thing, but the main problem really came down to the fact that once this match actually ended, I got hit with this error. See, apparently this game wants you to have quite a lot of memory, and the 16 gigabytes in this system is just not up to the task. So at this point, I was just thinking of what I could do to see if any more memory would even change this, since I kind of don't want to have to open up the system. I don't really have any loose 32 gigabytes of RAM that's DDR4 laying around. So I thought, well, the next best thing is to try it out on another system that is very similar to this. I have right here this GMK Tech system that is rocking a Ryzen 7 5700U, so it is one CPU tier above this one. What that means is that we get 2 more cores on the CPU, and we get 1 extra GPU core. So while this should perform better than this Trigkey system, it's not groundbreaking levels of performance. We're talking about maybe a 5 to 10% difference in a lot of situations, with at most really seeing about 15. So if it can run well on this, then maybe the memory will actually make a difference with the 5500U, but if it can't even run well on this, then that should let you know what to actually expect here. So let's jump right on in. And yeah, this one is an absolute disaster. Even with 32 gigabytes of RAM and a faster CPU and GPU, this was just not able to keep up. FSR at the performance preset already makes this very difficult to look at, really. But pair that with still a very inconsistent FPS average and 1% lows, it all adds up to pretty much a mess. So at this point, I kind of just wanted to see what it would take to get any kind of a playable experience out of this. So what I did is I lowered the resolution down to 720p and still used FSR at the performance preset, so we're running at about half of 720p here. It looks absolutely atrocious, and well, we're now able to get an FPS average that is noticeably above 30, though our 1% lows still fall below that, and those frame times still don't look amazing. So it's very disappointing to see that we couldn't get this to be playable in any kind of capacity, but I'm also not very surprised. Unreal Engine 5 really just seems to be the death blow for Vega, and I think as the year progresses, we're going to see more and more titles that don't really seem like they should be that demanding ending up performing really badly on Vega, specifically due to the fact that there just isn't any kind of driver development actually going on here. So very disappointing to see, and I would not be surprised if the 5800H also gives the same level of performance here. Remember, we are still talking about the same 8 Vega cores. No amount of increased TDP is really going to make up for the fact that the GPU is just not not able to keep up. So if you're on any APU that is rocking Vega, I would pretty much say that you're not going to be able to play on here. And keep in mind, this is about the iGPUs. I can't tell you how well the desktop Vega version is going to run, but I can guarantee you it's not getting driver optimization. So I hope you found this useful. If you did, please give this video a like. And if you're interested in picking up this specific mini PC, check out the links below or check out some of the higher end mini PCs that can actually run this game. I'll catch you guys in the next one.